Hey folks. Okay. I recorded this already. I thought I recorded this already. I was recording audio. I had my GoPro on. I didn't push record. So when it shut off on its own after a while, I'm like, why did it do that? Today, I'm working on installing my solar panels. I have 4 100-watt flexible panels. They're about 18 volts. Open voltage 21.7 approximately. I have a 40 amp charge controller I'm going to be using. Temperature compensation, I'm told that I probably should run them in parallel. I don't need to run all of them in parallel, it's just the 4 of them in series. The voltage is potentially too high. So I'll run 2 in series and 2 in series and parallel those 2 branches. Should keep me down in between 50 and 60 max voltage. Plenty safe enough for the charge controller. My setup, what I have on my van, used to be roof racks, so there's channels to mount roof racks on. I'm going to use those channels with the steel brackets, the bolts that ride in those brackets. I'll use those. What I've done is I've got 2 pieces of OSB, 1/2 inch, that are cut 54 inches wide, which is the width between for the channels to mount on, and then 42 inches long, say, for front to back on the van. I have 2 of these, another one on the floor. I had measured one of my solar panels. I took it out of the box. It was 21 inches by 42. So that's why I have this cut 42. I figured I'd have 2 panels side by side. I'll have space on one side to run my cables. I unboxed the other 3 solar panels today. They're not 21 inches wide. They're 21 1/4, 21 3/8. So needless to say, they don't fit nicely on this panel side by side the way I intended them to. I can switch them so they'll go lengthwise on the van, but then I don't have any decent place to run the cables. So I'm going to keep them going across on the van, side to side, with cabling space on the side. It's just I'm going to have to overlap one panel over top of the other a little bit on the edge. It won't affect the solar cells at all. The grommets to bolt them down might be a little in the way, but I'm going to be using the Turnbond tape around the edges for the most part. So that's the bolts are basically just a safety measure to make sure that the things don't fly away on me. Not worried about it. I think the Turnbond tape is more than strong enough to hold it down. We'll be doing that part tomorrow when the sun's up again. I also need to get a pressure roller so that tape activates properly. So right now, I've marked the grommet holes on the solar panels. I'm just drilling those out with a 9 32nd drill bit. I have 1/4 inch bolts with what are these called? A T-nut. Do you guys know what a T-nut is? I got it from the furniture section of the hardware store. And it's basically a nut, but instead of using a wrench or anything, it'll sit flat. It'll sit flat on the bottom, and there's little, what do they call? Prongs. There's prongs that will seat into the wood to stop it from turning when you're... Now it looks like there's plastic. That might have been the one I tried in the store. There's plastic that the bolt pushed in there. That's fine. So, These holes, drilling with 9/32 drill bit. This T-nut fits in there properly from the back side, or the underside it'll be. And then I can put the solar panel on top. Put a flat washer, a locking washer, and then a 1/4-inch bolt. And I have some thread lock that I'll put a couple dabs on there as well. And that'll stop that from loosening up due to any vibration or whatever while traveling. So they should come out unless I take them out. So we'll drill a few more holes here, get these T-nuts in the back, and looks like we'll have to just take a hammer and give them a few taps to get them in flush, and then we should be able to bolt on one of the panels, and then work our way along. I don't know why it was today at the hardware store. Trying to get these nuts and washers for this. I have 4 panels. Each one of them has 6 grommets. 24 holes. Easy enough. For some reason, I was counting out these T-nuts. There's 2 to a bag. I was thinking 6 bags, that's enough. And then what am I doing? I'm like, that's crazy. I need 24 of them, not 12. I need 12 bags. So I'm thinking 12, 12, 12. So I'm up at the cache, looking at the bag of bolts and washers I have. Looking at it. And what's written on the bag? 12, 12, 12. I got 12 bolts, 12 flat washers, 12 locking washers. I need 24 of them. So I get out of line, go back, count the rest of them. But that's after I had an issue with the T-nuts, knowing that I only had half the ones I had needed. I'm like, the old noggin, the brain just wasn't working today. I think I got you on narrow on the camera, so you probably can't see me. I'll put that side down. Use the baby hammer. Just put these on, test fit everything to start with. Well, we'll do the thread locker tomorrow once we get the tape on, or when we're putting the tape on. So I got a 1/4-inch bolt, a locking washer, a flat washer. So that is half. When does the paint actually come? This has been painted for weeks. Or over a week anyways. Paint's still tacky because it's been so cold out here. I got a little heat on in here today. Still only 59, 49? What, 9 degrees Celsius? That's why I still have my gloves on earlier. So, that's 2 of 4. I'll do it the other panel, get it done the same way. This will be the front edge of the van. This is the driver's side. So I'll hook these two. I'll hook these two in series here. This will come back along with this one. So positive and negative there. I'll have the positive and negative coming from the two panels that are going to be on the other piece of the board to come here. Might actually sit back this way some. They come here. I got some parallel connectors to go and bring it here, and then it'll go down through the roof vent or roof cap into the van. Let's get the other two on. Second sub panel. Hey guys, I'm not doing very good with the record button on the GoPro. I forgot to push it last night and the camera shut off after a little while and standby, and it just did it again. To catch you up, I'm putting my cable entry on for my solar panels. I drilled two 1-inch holes here to put these grommets and give me a 3/4 inch entry. My thought is that if I ever need to go and put wire in again after this is sealed down, I'm not going to be able to fish the wire in here and get it into a small grommet. So with these grommets I can hook the wire from inside, or with the curved bit of wire it'll actually angle in down there. At this point shouldn't be an issue anyways, because I'm going to feed the wire in there and I glue it down. So I'm just trying to get the metal up a little bit because it pushed in a little bit on around the sides when I was drilling it. I'll see if I can get these grommets in now. They seem way too big for the hole, but a 1-inch hole is what the instructions say for it. Grommets, I'm not expecting these to keep it weather tight. It's just so that the solar panel cables are protected from the edge of that metal so that they don't chafe and open up. It's has experience putting these grommets in, has their little tips and tricks. Well, that's not too bad. I think they're fairly smooth. Just trying to push some of the insulation through, maybe break a little bit of a hole going down into the van. The drill bit put a hole through, but just knocking some of the loose pieces through. Clean up this bit around here some. I haven't put together my ceiling fan my roof vent max air fan video yet. But something I did during filming that was caulk over top of the screws with some silicone and all the way around the side of the fan. And something I noticed while I was up here yesterday measuring and stuff for the solar panels is that all that silicone is gone. I don't know where it went, when it went, but it's not up here anymore. Maybe because I didn't do this before silicone, but the fan itself was clean. Should have stuck on that line. But seems to be all gone. Forgive that. Get that all clean. That out of the way. Here are the cables I have to go down. Not terribly long because I do plan on putting my charge controller and everything just straight below this point. So the cables coming off the panel are going to be close to here. I have these, this came on, it was just a matter of taking this nut off the back of these, mounting them in these holes. These pieces are on already. There's a piece of foam in there that the wire fits in snugly, and then when you screw these on, it tightens up. Pull a bunch of this wire through for now. Leave some out. I don't need all of that, but probably. Be nice if it was like 10 degrees out, Celsius that is, today, instead of like 2. Well, looking at the different construction adhesives, the Gorilla Construction adhesive seem to have the fastest setup time. Not necessarily best operating temperature, but it says best if used above 5 degrees Celsius. It doesn't say need to be. So, setup time is definitely going to be a little longer than optimal. But days above zero don't seem to be very prominent in the forecast currently. To get this outside work done, get it done and over with, and then deal with stuff inside the van. Good coat. To set up fairly quick. Take a while to cure, but the initial contact duct tape. Whether or not it's actually going to help hold that down or not. Just help a little bit of tension on that. In case it starts to rain before I get up here. Connect these to the solar panels. I'm gonna that on there to keep them dry and clean. We'll continue in the garage. Welcome back. A little later, next day actually. I got a little footage of putting the cable entry on top of the van. I'm back inside. I'm going to put some Eternabond tape around the edges of the panel. I think I'm going to leave them bolted on the way they are now instead of taking them off and trying to put a little extra on. I think I'm just going to leave it as is and put Eternabond on the edges where it makes sense, and leave it at that. I think that'll be fine. That's a positive. Let's get a little bit better of a look. So these two panels are in series, connected here in series. Negative and positive lead coming off of this twosome. These two panels in series right here. We'll join the negative from the other twosome to here, the positive from the other twosome to this one, and then the negative and the positive going into the cable entry. It's a cold, drizzly morning out. I have my solar panels assembled the way I want them, and they're going on the roof. It's not a real nice day to go and set up camera to film a bunch of it. I have one panel or one twosome in place. I'm about to put up the other twosome and connect them so that they're wired to the inside. That'll be it for this morning because it looks kind of miserable outside. But we'll get a little bit of footage on it. Since I did get some of the panels on camera, I'll get this bit too. So there's one twosome put in place. You can see where those bolts are in the slides here. Two coming through in the front, and then just one in the back because it's split. It's going to be with the next panel. Gap there in front of the fan. That should be enough. Here, I got Jeff. Wipe the lens for a bit. Maybe you couldn't see through all that mist. So we got all the cabling fastened down, tie wrapped in screws, 4 panels, just enough clearance in front of the fan. I think I lucked out on that. I'll pull off the last of the protective plastic. And that should be it for the outside. Anyways, until I have any kind of antennas I want to mount, I think I'm done with the roof until summertime, where I might have to go and make some adjustments, maybe redo these panels. It's kind of a, let's see how this works before winter. Anyways, I'll get a voltage reading inside. Oh, there's the wires I got hanging down. I still got a fair amount on the negative after bringing that down, but you can see, unless I go and have some kind of extension or whatever, my charge controller will have to be up here somewhere. Let's see. You guys can't see my... Oh. Let's put it here. DC volts. Range. I should be less than 100 volts for sure, I would think. Set you up here on the battery. Trying to get this probe stuck in next to the copper. I don't have to hold it. On one there, that's on the negative. Oh, there, 28 volts. That's not bad considering the panels are wet and it's very gray and overcast and still only 8:30 in the morning. Well, that's a success, I think, for today. Talk to you later.